From the beginning of the time, games have brought us together, players and spectators, by the handful of hundreds and thousands of years. We built stadiums, places to go around every kind of spectacles, glory, tragedy, pageantry, community, and wonder. Until every city, towns, and villages had a place where anyone could play. Thousands of years in games have changed. Now we are stepping into the real future. Today, Google has revealed the key details that were conspicuously missing from its March announcement of new Stadia game streaming service. Namely, what the heck is we're going to be able to play, how much we will pay, and when we can get started with exciting new service, which beams high-end console and PC games to any Chrome web browser, Chromecast Ultra TV, dongle or Pixel 3 smartphone from beefy Google News servers. The short version Google Stadia will launch in November 14th in 14 different territories including US, UK and Canada with at least 31 games from 21 different publishers with an initial Founders Edition's price $130 and hardware starter kit with 3 months of premium service and $10 months afterward. There is a separate free tier coming in 2020. Pre-orders for the Founders Editions are now open, and I will explain what is the chat, but there is something important you should know first. While you have probably heard predictions that Google Stadia will be the next Netflix of games, it turns out the analogy only goes so far. While Google intends to eventually have a back catalog of free games, including for your $10 monthly free, Stadia is not primarily a subscription service. The subscriptions only included a single games of a day. Destiny 2 primary. Google tells us you should expect to buy, not rent, cloud games for the same retail prices you will find on other platforms like PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, and Stream. We will sell these games like any other digital storefronts. Google's director of games, Jack Barser, tells us that. So, what's probably wondering which games and game studios are on board? I won't leave you in suspenses any longer. Google says this is an entire list of games, either with more set to be announced next week during E3 and in run up to November launch. Still, it already looks like who's who of video games publishers are interested in this idea. Some enough to bring brand new games from high-profile franchises like Broadlanders, Wolfenstein, Doom Darksiders, and Ghost Raccoons to Stadia catalog. Berser says that the just announced Baldur's Gate 3 will ship simultaneously on Stadia and PC. In fact, and that those two platforms will be the only way to play it. Nevertheless, that list of games does not necessarily have a killer app. Google is not talking about its own internally developed Stadia exclusive titles quite yet, and quality and reliability of Google's service is mostly unproven in wild, which is probably why Google's catering to early adopters willing to drop $130 on a Stadia Founders Edition before it goes any further. For less than price of a new PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, the companies cobbled together own console of sort, a Chromecast Ultra plug into your TV, and limited edition of dark blue version of Stadia. Surprisingly cool controller, since each of those devices will retail for $70 on their own. You are arguably getting your money worth in gadgets right away, plus the change to choose a special founder username before anyone else. You will also get 3 months of Stadia Pro tier of service for you and your friend, who like you will also be able to play on Pixel 3 or Pixel 3a phone. Google says it hopes to expand to other phones and platforms over time in the Chrome web browser with the standard of HID controller of your choice. Note, Google says the Stadia won't be available in Hawaii and Guam at launch. Of course, you don't need to be dropped this initial $130 and $10 a month Stadia if you are willing to wait until 2020, and you don't necessarily need to be buy into Google branded hardware at all if you are willing to wait. It's coming to more Android phones, and when I ask if we can expect the service to eventually hit Apple TVs, Roku's, maybe iOS devices. Decorative says the Google is not go as broad as possible, but we want to be everywhere. He says there is no particular spectators. Another Android phone would need to be support Stadia, merely qualification, ensure it's good experience. You won't need to be repair the Stadia controller over and over each supported device. By the way, it's a Wi-Fi device that communicates directly with the Stadia service and servers, so you can swap platform easily. Note that everywhere does not necessarily include playing games on the go over the cellular connection quite yet though. Merely Wi-Fi and wired Ethernet to start. You should not expect your exciting cellular connection to work, says Dronic, adding that the company is building on 5G potentials to change that, and Google says not all Stadia love divisions from its March announcement. GDC, see our video below, will necessarily make it by launch, while that nifty features that lets you click through the YouTube video ad for a game and instantly start playing should be available. The Ghost Raccoon will offer split screen multiplayer with your friends. It's not clear that YouTubers will be able to simultaneously play with the live stream game. YouTube, you know about live stream, and not invite their fans to join in, perhaps for good reasons considering YouTubers challenges right now. Over time, Bursa says we should not only see additional exclusive devices and games on Stadia, but also cross-platform games doing things on Stadia that would be impossible to do on a console or PC. Instead of dividing a virtual world into tiny shared where only 100 or 150 players can occupy the same space at a time because of the limitation of individual servers, he says Google internal network can support living, breathing virtual worlds filling with thousands of simultaneous players. So this is going to be really great because this is coming with a 5G network, so I highly recommend you Stadia. But in that case, I never used a PlayStation 4 or anything, but I highly recommend Stadia because it's coming with a 5G and thousands of players in simultaneous time. So this is going to be great, and let's see how it's rocked the world. And this is your Nexus Data, and please subscribe to our channel and share our video with your friends, and put your comment below if you have any questions and what our next video should be. You can tell us your doubts and questions. Thank you very much for joining us. See you in our next episode. Thank you.
Playing Destiny.
Whenever, wherever, with whomever you want.
And we're allowing players to have access to all of it.